Hey guys, Bushcraft family with another video. Guess what, guys? Yeah, sometimes we see people on the internet or, on regular TV. Some people still watch that stuff. Um, and they get a false sense of, how things are really are in the world, I guess you would say. One of those being survival TV, where you see people survive in the wilderness and things like that. And I've watched tons and tons of these shows. Some things you can learn quite a bit off of. Some of them, it's dangerous to believe that some of the stuff that they do is actually okay when it can actually get you killed. One of those being Bear Grylls. Now, I'm probably going to get a lot of hate for this, but Bear Grylls may be a survivalist, be able to survive out in the wilderness and stuff. But when it comes to his shows, it's more fiction than actual survival. Now, another one I watch is Les Stroud. He is Survivor Man. If you've seen any of his shows, he films everything himself. He actually gets dropped off in the middle of nowhere and survives for a week. And he films all of the stuff himself. There's nobody else involved. Bear Grylls has a film crew that follows him around. If you've done any digging at all into the man, his locations. A lot of his locations are fake. He'll pull over a side of the road to where it looks like he'll go out a good ways, and if it's ever panned around, there's a road or there's a motel like not too far away and stuff like that. Which I'm not saying there's nothing wrong, because that's entertainment. That's for the TV. But when it comes to survival, I would rather trust somebody that doesn't stretch the truth, so to speak. And I'm going to give you some of the stuff from his shows and everything that, it would get you killed if you had to survive out in the wilderness yourself. And today we have Brutus. Anyways, the first one, I mean, he's a lot of good does a lot of good entertainment, but there are some things that could actually get you, like I said, get you killed if you had to survive in the wilderness. One of them would be lack of preparation. Carrying things with you and whatnot. Yeah, it's good to be able to make the stuff off the land, but if you're not skilled, if you're not skilled in those fields, you won't make it very long. Just look at a knife. If you don't carry a knife, yes, you can go and get a piece of rock and chip it down into where you can sharpen it and stuff. If you're lucky. If you're not, you could cut yourself and end the story. There's a lot of things there. Ropes. One of the hardest things to make from scratch, it is cordage. It's extremely hard. Another thing is a container. where can you get a container in the desert? It's not an easy thing. Where can you get a container in the woods? You can carve things and make pottery and stuff, but that's a long time that you have to make those things before you can actually use them. To make a fire, just carry flint and steel with you. Just a ferrocene rod, yay big. That could save your life. And that's where he talks about being just dropped off with nothing and not being prepared. Oh, you don't have to be prepared. You just drop off here and you can make all this stuff yourself. It's not that easy, guy. It's not that easy. Our next one is when he's some of the things he does, you wouldn't want to take those risks. And I'm talking about his risk taking behavior that he does. His jumping off of this and all these things he does, jumping off of a cliff into the water, which we'll get to that too. Oh boy. Which we might as well talk about that too. One of the best things you can, if you've never seen a body of water and you decided to run and jump off into it, that is so good. So many people throughout life has jumped into water that they'd never been into, diving or whatnot, and they're not here anymore, or they're severely injured. They have, they're paralyzed or whatnot, and these two things kind of go together. To me, survival is being able to survive until you don't need to as much anymore. Now, if you get an injury or something, that could lead to you not being on this earth anymore. And the way he does stuff, it's not right. It's not right, and people get that false sense of security that Bear Grylls does this, and he jumps off this mountain and does this, and runs as fast as he can through this thing, and does. It's not like that. And the more people realize that survival isn't that way, the more people will actually be able to survive. And kind of where I'm getting at during this is, instead of watching these shows, these survival shows, Doomsday Prepper, all these, you got to realize that most of these shows are entertainment. A lot of stuff that's on these shows are just entertaining you to make it more interesting. That doesn't mean that it would work for you in that situation, be it a shift type thing or whatever. And this goes to his the next one here is his unsafe climbing techniques. He's hanging upside down on a face cliff and climbing. Everybody thinking, oh, that's easy. Everybody can do that. Just all the way up. A good bit of what he does is camera work. It'll look like he's way up in the air, and 6 feet down there's a guy with a camera behind him. You gotta always remember, you're not there watching in a floating bubble behind him. There is a cameraman doing the exact same thing that he's claiming to do. So you thinking that, oh, it's easy to climb up a cliff's side and get up top of the mountain and run and run and run. It's not. It's not like that. And again, showing people a false sense of safety and stuff is it. It doesn't work that way, and that's something that it's been proven over and over again throughout history of television. People going out and copying things. Look in the 50s and 60s. I don't know, it was back then, but when Superman show was, there was people jumping out windows thinking they were Superman. Oh, I can fly too. No, it's a television. Now, these are some good ones here that I want to stress so much, and that's him trying things, eating, consuming things that should not been ever picked up or eaten. Sometimes he'll pick up a berry and start eating it and say, "Oh, well, it's a bit bitter and it tastes like this, but it's edible." No, it's not. You don't tell people that certain berries and things, you don't know what it is. He puts it in his mouth and starts eating it. Not to mention some of these dead animals that he separates this and that. Oh, this should be good. We can cook this down. Just because you see somebody eating something gross on TV doesn't mean it's safe. There are so many toxic plants, and him showing you what a plant looks like that might be edible is just plain wrong. Oh man. And he misidentifies so many plants when he's out there. A lot of times he's over somewhere else where I don't know all the plants and everything, but I know that he shouldn't be doing that. And I'm going to have to pause it here because I got Mr. Weed Eater Man going in the background. So we'll be back in a minute. Okay, I think he might be done, or he's over on the other side. Let's hope so. Okay, where were we at? Yeah, his eating of other things, some of that stuff, if you get sick, if you're sick for more than 3 days in the wilderness, or a shift experience of some sort or anything like that, that could be the end of you. And believing some of the stuff that he does, it's just not good survival sense at all. And one of the next things I see in a lot of his shows is his building survival shelters. Building somewhere to sleep for the night or for a few days. The locations that he picks. I've seen him build fires under cliff walls and stuff to where he's just waiting for tragedy to come. I've seen him build next to a river stream in a ravine or something like that. Very dangerous locations. And it's things that you need to think about before finding a location to build a shelter for the night or a week or longer. Build like a ravine for there's flash floods that could happen miles away that you don't even get a drop of rain, and then here comes raging waters that will completely take you out. Like I said, with the cliff face, where you see a little indented cave or something inside of next to a cliff, and he's sitting in there with a fire and stuff. That stuff falls all the time, and when you introduce fire to this, it's even worse. There's more of a chance that a 10-ton slab of rock comes down and squishes you. So always keep that in mind, is to find these locations that are better for surviving, making a better survival shelter location. You got to think of all these little areas that what could happen. It's better to be safe than sorry. And again, he does this because it's TV. It makes a better TV program. It's not what happens in survival. Okay, our next one is handling of wildlife without being cautious or anything. We all know Steve Irwin. He's the crocodile man or whatever, crocodile hunter or something like that. And he was a professional. He has, big old farms and everything where he handles snakes and spiders and all this stuff, crocodiles. And we all know what happened to him. He got a little too close to a creature, and he is no more. And he was a professional for many, many years on animals and creatures and insects and things like that. And if it could happen to him, we all know Bear Grylls is not an expert of handling these animals and stuff. And you'll see him, grabbing snakes and, other spiders and bugs and stuff, making it look so easy and whatnot. And when that's being portrayed, it makes, let's pick up this snake. It won't do anything. Let's move it away or something like that. And again, doing something like that could be the end of you. I remember there was a part on there where he was playing with the fox and everything. He's going to play with the wrong animal one time, and he could get, a disease of many things, not to mention rabies, where there's nothing you can do about it. You'll end up, not being here anymore. Another thing that he does that very irritating that I see, and I get so many people telling me, "Oh, you can do this out in the wilderness if you don't have water and everything," and it's drinking your own urine. And that's the thing. You get people that believe in these things so much because they see somebody on TV doing it, that they think it's, it's 100% true and everything. Well, drinking your own urine, many things is wrong with that. This is, your urine is the waste of everything that you eat and drink. It comes out, those things that we use the toilet for, that is waste. That is, a lot of times it is a toxic waste. So when you sit there and think that it's okay to drink your urine to survive, I'm afraid to tell you, a lot of times you will not survive. He has actually been been hospitalized for drinking his own urine. He had at one point he had to be life flighted out of his location where he was because of this risky behavior of, oh, you can survive on drinking your own urine. He ended up catching something that could have been life threatening if he wasn't, a famous person that could have a helicopter flown in to pick him up and take him to the hospital. It's things like that to where you watch somebody on TV and you get a false sense of whatever, that you need to be very careful. I don't care who it is. Me, Bear Grylls, Survivor Man, whoever. TV shows like Alone. There's so many different shows out there that's their job, is to make it more entertaining. So that's what they're going to do. You may learn a little bit tidbits here and there of some things that you can do, but they're going to want to make it entertaining. And when they make it entertaining, that's where it can be dangerous for you. So you have to pay attention to and do your own research on a lot of this stuff, because you don't want to end up alone in the woods and, oh, I don't have anything to drink, so let me drink my urine here and I'll be okay. No. I hope you guys enjoy this, and I'm sure I'll be fine, because I don't think Bear Grylls will even bother looking at something like this on YouTube. So until next time, like always, do your own research, and God bless.